around to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told him
Fred,
he needs to take a picture and give it to his coworkers, but
Fred Cotiller in LA used that as an advertising prop for many, many years. Just saying, oh, I finally got around to it. Here's my card. And of course, his name and details were on the back of it.
oh,
I
I've
cool.
love
still
it.
got one, and that was from the early 70s, 1970s.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
wow.
say Robin has one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rob,
Rabina, you want to hold it up and
Mine has like the
I'll
explanation
update you. There
too.
it is.
there you
Yeah.
Mm,
go. Yep.
Oh, dang it.
mm.
Yeah, mine says like around to it and then the explanation too. So
Yeah.
Because,
Have you
of
got an
course,
advertisement on the back of it, Rabina?
I found it.
that would actually be a grand idea, is
Yeah.
maybe the name
Fred,
of their shop or
See, then
mm,
that's
particulars. Huh.
dang it. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Doug, for showing. I'm
that's
assuming your
awesome.
lovely wife and or girlfriend are nearby. We were just watching her on a rerun of Penn and Teller last night. They rarely go into reruns, but there was another one last week as well from the first season that your lovely has been on.
Yeah, they've taken a break. There's still about 8 more episodes to air, so
Hmm.
they'll be back soon.
Oh, sure. And whatever happened to that show with Dean Cain? It went into an hour format recently, and then I haven't seen it. It's disappeared, which is very apropos for the subject matter.
mm.
But
He's
what's
a
the show?
police officer.
Hmm?
He's a sheriff or something for real life.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Dean
amazing what we
Cain.
have in magic.
Yes, yes.
Of course,
Welcome, Al.
mm,
Hey,
Oh,
Broadway Al, all the way from Chicago, USA is
mm,
here.
yeah, I walked
Oh,
the
there's
whole
a
way
voice.
go away. A walk where?
from the living room into the family room.
Yes.
I hope you took snacks with you as well. It's a long walk.
Oh, ice cream.
Mm.
Hmm.
Somebody got me into, I don't know who it was, maybe making, with two cookies, putting ice cream in between.
I
Kind
told
of
you about
like,
that.
I know, I was being facetious. And so,
Did you try it?
of course, I was daring though, not too daring rather. I started with one cookie and ice cream. And then it's like, no, you got to have at least two. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never had a cookie ice cream sandwich? That's like, I mean, maybe it's an American
Yeah.
thing. I don't know.
well, I bought them, but never
Oh,
homemade.
oh, okay,
Make
homemade.
them.
Okay.
Gotta
Yeah.
make the
The
cookie.
fifth week. The fifth
Yes.
week.
Yeah.
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 Death by
Chocolate chip. Yeah. Yep. This
There's
is
a
what
toast your cookies in there somewhere.
this is what I'm
Mm. Oh,
snacking
wow.
now.
What
The
is that?
Lovely.
What? Bring it down.
this top
Oh,
Hold that up.
so
Hold
good.
that up. Hold that
the
up. There we
It is
go.
so good.
mm.
yeah,
Like,
it's
Mm.
really good.
Looks nice.
Oh,
Yeah, it does, doesn't
I
it?
Yeah.
love my chocolate. I love my chocolate.
Me too.
That's going to
And
be my
too
downfall.
much.
the pretzels are salty, so it's a really good mix.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll say. For
Wait,
those
are
of
the
you who,
pretzels
sorry.
Yeah.
chocolate? Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
no, this is plain pretzels, but they have these little
Mm.
mini chocolate bars, and I ate all the popcorn. The popcorn had chocolate drizzle on it.
Ah.
I ate that first.
I don't know if
uh,
it's just in Canada, but Dairy Queen has brought back the s'mores blizzard,
mm,
which is my
Yep.
absolute favorite among amongst my favorites there. So we're all excited about that and craving it. It's very addictive. For those of you who have joined us on Facebook, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Believe it or not, we are just about ready to start the show. What do you say, Cheryl?
Say, I say a lot. How about you?
I don't know if that's true or not. I think we're going to be learning a little bit more about each other, and we're going to be sharing that somehow on today's show. So
Could
I'm
be.
looking forward to what's about to unfold. I hope you guys are as well. You may remember me from my television shows in the 1980s and 90s, and now I host two regularly live streamed virtual magic shows. One is a showcase for some of the greatest magicians in the world, and the other is a talk show featuring some of the most inspiring conjurers of our times. Welcome now to Magical People. And welcome back, everybody, to this edition of Magical People Live with myself, Dr. Michael Likey, and my co-host, Cheryl. We will need you to unmute yourself. Well, I was very concerned about this particular show because I thought, well, we kept it a secret. That was Cheryl's idea, which I thought was really brilliant marketing. However, um, who the two very special guests are. And I was worried that once we reveal who the guests are, everyone's going to leave. I couldn't fill the spot. And it was really odd because I thought, well, maybe there's a reason for it. And I was sharing that, of course, with you, Cheryl. And Cheryl came up with the idea. She said, well, why not us? Why don't we interview each other? And I thought, well, do people really want to experience something like that?
Yeah,
You know, I don't- well, I hope so. I hope so.
we'll make it.
So it's going to be very casual. We've prepared very little in the way of notes. I prepared a couple of pictures. I think Cheryl has as well.
You
But
told me to.
let's get underway. Who should start first?
Oh, you were just talking about rolling film. Now, we know you as a mentalist, and you've mentioned that you don't mind Ernie. And how you've what else have you done? Shoot, that we know of. What a mentalist and graphic designer. What's your
Yes.
life before then? What have you done?
Before then, absolutely nothing. I went to college for that. Well, no, that's absolutely not true. You're right. I was drawing since about the age of like 3. I know that sounds really odd, but certainly 3 by 4, I was well underway. But my parents got me one of those little chalk slates. It was in one version it was black, another version it was green, and we placed it on top of our couch and it leaned up against the wall. And I loved drawing cartoons. I would watch the Flintstones and draw them. I would, whatever was popular, Batman as well. The
Yep.
old style Batman. I used to draw on the slate, but what bothered me was I'd have to erase the pictures in order to do another picture, right?
Yep.
So then I veered into uncharted territory as a 3.5 to 4-year-old working on paper.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so frightening. And I didn't use a pencil. I'd use a ballpoint pen. For the
Oh,
life of me, I don't know why,
mhm.
but I did. And it was a really creepy feeling. It felt so different from the chalk on the blackboard. But yeah, so that was weird beginnings of me drawing in my high school, which there were thousands of kids. It was Montreal. I and one other person were the artists in the school. I was also the magician, and her name was Kathy. And we actually co-drew together. I drew her, if you'll pardon the pun, drew her into our annual because I thought, oh, if there's too much to do, maybe she can help me out by penciling and I'll ink or whatever,
Oh,
ink the stuff. But yeah, I'll tell you something. You want to hear something kind of interesting, Cheryl?
of course. That's why I
You're,
asked.
you're supposed to say no. Let's
Oh,
move
no.
on.
Fill it.
Let's move on. Was I took art all 4 years. And of course, we had to take other stuff as well. Other stuff was compulsory. But I knew by grade 10, because grade 10 and 11, we had to get certain amounts of credits and pass stuff to go to college after. And by then I knew, because I'd registered, I was going to the commercial art. At the time, I thought it was going to be commercial art. They moved me into graphic design in college. We had to put our portfolio together. We had to get stuff together. So, with a little bit of the help or discouragement of my art teacher, I had him all 4 years. I think that was the only art teacher that was in the school anyway. Um, I was big into superhero stuff. And that was my forte. I loved drawing Batman and Superman and Spidey and all of them in color. So my entire portfolio consisted of large 18 by 24. They almost looked like posters. I still have those somewhere. In any case, and Kung Fu, I loved the Kung Fu with David Carradine series, so I did a big poster. Cat Stevens, I did a mock album. He's still one of my favorites. And my teacher just went like this. He goes, that's not considered high art, Michael. You
Oh,
don't
no.
want to do that. And I thought, but I do. And in any case, I thanked him for his feedback, ignored him, got in to graphic design, the commercial art program at Dawson College in Montreal. And I'm saying this, I don't mean to brag, but it amazes me because I never thought I was that good. Out of 200 kids, I was one of 50 that got into that program.
Oh,
So there was
wow.
like 50 kids in our class in the first year. But they looked at my stuff during the interview and they said, how would you like to go into graphic design instead of commercial art? And I said, what's the difference? And they said about $500. No, what they said was one is more two-dimensional art, the graphic design and a program, and commercial art is more three-dimensional, like designing stuff for theater and making models and all that. So I thought, yeah, I want more two-dimensional stuff. So graphic design it was, and I'm still friends to this day with my friend Lindy Yanofsky, whose husband was on the show a couple of weeks ago, the big record executive producer guy. She was smart. She moved down to the States, to California, from Montreal. And because everyone, well, many people, I'm going to say this anyway, many people growing up, if you're from Montreal or Toronto, you aspire to eventually retire in the States, preferably somewhere warm, either Miami or California or something. In any case, yeah, we still chat because we also went to high school together. She won't come on this show, Cheryl. She's too shy.
Well, you have to, you know, you twist her arm. Tell her you have to.
Virtually, virtually,
Oh,
virtually. So yeah, it's a long-winded answer. That's me, long-winded. Or other descriptions. Yeah, so I was into art first, and then music in college.
what would you
Yeah,
play? What would you play?
the
Play in a
bagpipes.
band. Did you play in
Bagpipes. I did actually play in a band too. No, it was somewhere, and I don't remember. I think it was near the end of high school. I saw a special on TV, one of those late night music specials, and it featured Cat Stevens. And
Mhm.
around that time, he had released, I think, Oh Very Young from the Buddha and the Chocolate Box album, obscure references. In any case, and a Canadian named Keith Hampshire recorded First Cut is the Deepest, which is a Cat Stevens song, an early one. And I liked his voice. It sounded kind of macho, and I don't know. coupled with his pristine lyrics and melodies, it was just something that grabbed me. So I recorded because we didn't have video tape stuff back then. I had a little cassette player. That's about the dimensions of it, like that, and placed it near the
Yep.
television and recorded the whole audio. And I would listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over again and sing. And I had drumsticks that my dad had given me because my dad was a professional drummer in Montreal, and I'd play along, but I wanted to sing and play. So he took me, he was kind of known in Montreal, to Steve's Music Store. Now, I'm making a mistake that a lot of people make, confusing magic
Yes,
and
music
music.
magic. Yep.
And he bought me my first guitar, an Aria, A-R-I-A, and I loved it. I fell even more in love with music and taught myself from tons of books that I bought there, and the rest should be history.
So you just play guitar or do you play other instruments?
I play drums
And drum.
just naturally. My dad taught me a little bit. Believe it or not, I must be some kind of freak. But when I was about 2 years old, he stuck me on his drum kit on the seats there. And of course, my feet wouldn't hit the pedals, but he taught me. And he taught me kind of ongoing as I grew older. You know, you know what a paradiddle is?
No, do
It
tell.
sounds like a kind of an animal, like a cassowary or something. But no, a paradiddle, it's like when you go that
Oh,
kind of thing. And it's not as easy as you think. And
no.
then he taught me the proper way to hold, the sticks and all that. And of course, pop music was very big back then, rock music, pop. And he had to play a lot of commercial stuff or die, right? In order to make a good living. And he
Yep.
played just about every good and not so good place in Montreal growing up. I think I only recall him being out of work twice
Oh, wow.
and then not that long. So yeah, he taught me drums. I guess I ran with it, and I taught myself guitar. And I was in a years later a Beatles sound-alike group called the Bagels.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
Can you guess why we called ourselves the Bagels?
I have an idea.
You're probably right. Um, we were all Jewish.
Yep.
And at the time, I was a journalist for the Jewish publication. I can't remember the name of it, the Jewish Post. Yeah, it's so hard to remember. Um, and so I'd get invited to a lot of affairs, Jewish affairs and stuff, to cover that, to write them up. And yeah, it was great fun. We decided to play gigs for free. I don't know
Oh,
why we got so many gigs. In any case,
amazing.
we did those for free. And back then, what was popular, I don't know if I should share this, um, mm, parts parts of ladies' apparel were thrown up on stage. And I was the drummer, and I remember in particular, and I think this was a setup because they were large bloomers. It came sliding somehow whoop, right up to me as I'm playing right at my feet, and it's like I'm trying to ignore this, what looked like granny, whatever you'd call them.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that was great fun. I loved my Beatles. We were a Beatle cover band, and the leader of the group, he could play 12 different instruments, and
Oh,
he was
wow.
a Paul McCartney fanatic. And one day, um, I didn't know he had recorded us, and he played it on cassette, and I thought it was the actual Beatles. I was kind of blown away by this, that we actually sounded good. But he even had the Hofner bass, the same kind of bass Paul McCartney has, and we had a John Lennon guy who actually looked like John Lennon and had the same kind of guitar like John, and it was great fun. Yeah, while it lasted. Our rehearsals were hours at a time, and we ate, I think they're called Skittles, if you know Skittles. They're the little candies.
Candy. Yep.
So he'd bring out
Jeez.
the bowl. Yeah, that
Gosh.
was our drug of
Oh
choice.
my
I
gosh.
just realized we're the Skittles. And unfortunately they'd be right by me and we'd be
Oh,
eating Skittles for like hours, sometimes 6 or more hours at a time. Those were our rehearsals. So
oh
yeah,
my
lots of
God.
fun.
So before I forget, you were teased graduation, weren't you? By your own parents. You're teased by your mom on
I got
graduation
that.
day.
I got that,
Too
Cheryl.
bad.
I know the reference that you're making. I have some, no, we're going to run through too many pictures. I have some pictures of my teased hair,
Yeah.
is what I made the mistake of sharing that with you. Not really. Um, because I don't know why my mom used to tease my hair and it never bit her. It never bit her.
Oh
So
man.
I'm going to see.
Maybe you just need it
Um,
fluffed up. I don't know.
yeah, I guess. I don't know how successful she was at that, but I've put together coincidentally different pictures of my various looks. That was 1991. That's my favorite promo pic of me. And that's from college. That's my Cat Stevens era. And that's one of the pictures of my teased hair. Isn't it horrible?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's fluffed.
Yeah, it's something. It's something. It was my Mod Squad period. I liked Pete. That's what I'm talking about. So
Oh,
that
now
was like
that's
a
teased.
year later, and that was no perm. That was
Oh,
at that point not a perm.
at that point,
Frightening.
had it
At
permed?
that, later on, a perm. I don't know if I've got these in any chronology. There's a perm. That's
There you
me,
go.
still back home in Montreal, 1970 something.
Wow.
Perm City. And yeah, it got cold. There's my mom and dad, my mammy and pappy. There they
No.
are. Yes, sir. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Had some kind of event, probably a bar mitzvah. Could have been a wedding. Could have been the gin. That's my dad at Man in His World
Oh
playing
wow.
drums. Man in His World came after Expo 67. And instead of calling it Expo 67, they called it Man in His World. He played on this whole island. Expo and Man in His World consisted of several man-made islands in and around Montreal. And this whole island was country and western, like was like a western town, like
Oh,
Gunsmoke
cool.
and all of that. So he was in this band that played stuff like that. There was even a Miss Kitty.
Ah,
And I
nice.
think that is probably it. Yeah, so sorry for boring you guys, but
No.
you got into the hair teasing, so I thought, yeah, I'll just do that.
That's nice. See, through the years, you've
Guess so.
changed, and some of them didn't even look like you, and some of them,
I know, it's quite frightening. I was considering getting a perm again and dyeing my hair, but no. Sue has said don't. I'm joking. I'm joking. I would never.
I see, wink, wink. Sure.
Uh-huh.
But why get a perm? You already had curly hair.
No, I never actually had naturally curly hair at all.
It looked like
Um,
it.
I know it's my mom's handiwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's easy because it's flat. Needs some volume.
exactly the way my hair is now, except it was dark, dark brown, almost black. This is basically my real hair. It's like normal. It's straight, if you want to call it normal.
Fake.
Anything about me is not normal, I think. In any case, um, so
Oh,
yeah, the perms started coming around age 14 or 15.
oh wow.
And ended sometime in my reign in Winnipeg. And I looked like I was in a cult. I looked like Mo from the Three Stooges when the whole perm was cut out and everything.
Oh, no.
It looked like someone had put a bowl over my head. I looked like
Wait, pictures of that?
uh,
Oh,
coincidentally not. I don't know why. I looked like that guy. He's a stand-up. He's a very famous comedian actually from TL. And Dumb and Dumber. I looked
Oh,
like what's
yes.
his name? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Jim Carrey. His
Yes,
character.
Jim. I should know Jim. Jim's name. We partied after a set we did north of Toronto at a comedy bar. Anyway, that's something else.
That's another show, I think.
Maybe, maybe.
Mm. Oh my gosh. All right, I guess you can ask anything.
You're kidding.
May or may not.
Anything?
Well, I may
Okay.
not answer.
Hair, real or not?
It's real.
I know. I'm just joshing. I might be teasing you during this, but you know me well enough to go, stop it. But yeah, I did actually have some questions that did pop into my head. Um, because really I kind of know you. It started with the open mic or Tuesday Night Magic. And I joined in, or Kevin and Rabina let me. Um, Big mistake on their parts. Let me start to do my
Oh,
magic there. Back
yeah.
then it was twice a week. And oftentimes Kevin or the powers that be would bring you and your daughter up to help me with a trick. There was also, and still are,
That's
actually,
the T word.
a number of other folks. No, now you're
You can't say the T
actually
word. You said the T word. That's a no-no. Go ahead.
what?
You said the
Okay.
T word. And that's a no-no.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's and I didn't even realize how far we kind of go back. I was going through some videos somewhere, I don't remember where, maybe YouTube or something, and it's like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's like I'm doing my thing, and there you are, and Michaela, your daughter,
Oh,
uh,
cute.
and it's like, whoa, I've known you that long. So my question is, yes, Michael, what is the question? For the love of Pete. Um, how did you become aware of Tuesday Night Magic, open mic magic? How did it come to your attention?
Oh my gosh. Did I think maybe it popped up on Facebook or something? I'm like, hey, let me try to do this, and then totally flubbed it up. And I think the next week I figured it out, how to sign up and all.
Ah,
And then I
yeah.
just started going from there.
And your interest in magic, I'm assuming started with that show, watching the shows, but I could be wrong. If I am, tell me.
Yeah, we've always liked the magic. We've enjoyed it. And then when I saw it pop up, I'm like, hey, we're home on Wednesdays. So I think that was the one day off I had a week, other than Sunday. Yeah, I might have been working at that time, I'm not sure. But I'm like, all right, that's our Wednesday thing. And then we just started going. She always liked it. My son liked it too. But we were just regulars. And then we found out from Wednesday that Tuesday they did it. And I'm like, hey, let's watch it Tuesday too. So yeah, that's how that started because it was cool.
It's kind of addictive too, isn't it? It's like certainly as a performer it is, as a spectator, which you guys are or were, it's like I could see how you'd get drawn in. And this is a shameless plug for open mic. Too bad.
So,
Um, it's a great show that you can catch on
mm,
Facebook, Open Mic Magic Theater, usually Wednesdays, on Facebook. And I love, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of the show. Well, we're a part of the show, in reality, but it's really fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to watch. You never know who's going to show up apart from the regulars. Kevin and Rabina always manage to get some really neat magicians or interesting people on the show.
yep.
So I feel very blessed to be a part of that. So that's true. So that got you
Yep.
interested in magic, did it? Yeah.
More so. I mean, I always was. Oh, look who showed up. So you can sit next to me, maybe. Hey,
Hey, there's Mick. Hi, Mick.
yeah,
Michaela, how are you?
good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
You
Speak of
won't
the
believe
devil,
me.
because we were
Yeah.
just talking about your interest in magic and all. So you were interested before then. Did you ever see any magicians on TV or in person before open mic?
Yeah, we saw him like at Canby Lake Park. We've
Yeah.
seen it.
And at the 4th of July events.
Fourth
and
of July
that.
events, yeah. And just on TV, we watch once in a while if we caught it, because we're always going everywhere. Sitting down
Yeah.
to like actually is a lot to do. Like even though it's the same time every week, it takes a lot around here to actually be able to make it somewhere. So, and keeping everything quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because the animals are all squealing and doing all kinds of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed you've got a mute button. Before you mentioned to me that you have a mute button, I noticed it's like your mouth is moving, but nothing's coming out. Oh, you must have muted yourself. And so,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I never realized that it could potentially be quite noisy around the old homestead. And
Mm-hmm.
very, very cool. Very cool.
Keeping,
So,
4 dogs and 5 cats quiet is very,
wow. So would you call that, what would you call that? A farm, a ranch? What is it you live
I
on?
don't know. I should name it probably like
Yeah.
a hobby farm or something, but it's
Yeah.
actually a lifestyle, so a lifestyle farm.
Mm.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Very cool. And you're a wife as well. You have a very interesting husband. We could do if he's ever interested, we could do a whole show just on him and what he can do. But
Oh yeah.
I'll tease this audience. We won't go into detail for now. And you can ask him or I can ask him if he ever wants to come on because that's something. That's quite something that he does. But right
Yeah.
now it's about you and me and
Yeah.
oh, I see all of our audience has left. They're bored to tears. No,
We can talk the good stuff. No kidding.
yeah, really. So yeah, you're interested in magic. You approached me one day, which is weird because how can you approach me? How can you sneak up on me on the internet? You
I
can't.
couldn't
Well,
find
you
out where you
sort of
live.
can.
Hunt you down.
Yeah. Ah, and Google Maps. Darn
Yes.
those Google Maps. In any case, um, you approached me probably last fall um, to teach you some magic, or no, it was my video. One of the videos I have out through Amazon, I think if it's still there, are 10 best of
Oh yeah.
tricks. They're really meant for non-professionals. They're hobbyist tricks, but they're good. I put them together. And I think you were interested in learning magic. And so I said, well, yeah, this is the snootiness of me.
Ah,
Oh, why don't you just buy my DVD or my whatever that is? You can learn a lot from there. And then you said, well, I'll get it if you teach me. And it's like, oh yeah, I could teach you through Zoom, through this amazing whatever it is. So yeah, so that was kind of the beginning of us
yeah.
and you doing stuff with me. And at first, remember, I used to call you my assistant. I don't think you liked that, but you came up with,
No, I didn't say I didn't like it.
but you threatened my life, Cheryl. You
Well,
did. You said,
it was
"Don't
only
make
like
me come
five
over."
times. 5 times. When I get to 10, then I really mean it.
It was the thread of my life that got me to change. But anyway, you came up with the PIM, and I never forgot that. Partner in magic, because I've got the world's worst memory. Now I've added in mentalism, partner in magic and mentalism. That's a mouthful. In any case, yeah, and I thought, brilliant. Okay, cool. But you quickly, and I have to say this, I'm not just saying that to be nice. People know I'm not nice, so they know I'm being
I know.
honest right now. Uh,
Okay.
and you're holding up the symbol for help me or whatever, right? Yeah, yeah. Two blinks for, whatever, Morse code.
No,
In any
you're
case,
nice. You're
uh,
nice.
so, yeah, it kind of blew me away how quickly you evolved. Like I would just teach you a couple of things. I taught you a lot of stuff, but the stuff, and we're all like that. What we're interested in, we'll kind of run with and
Yeah.
whatever, right? And it's like you came back the next week. We do this usually on Sundays. Hopefully, we still are. I have to ask her every week because you actually have a busy life. You have a life.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like you came back the next week. I don't remember specifically, you might. And you made something. You ran with one of the props and made something better. And it's like, whoa. It's like in the cartoons when he puts on the brakes with his shoes, he's running and then it
Yeah.
was that. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? And no, really. And thinking about this kind of both scares me, intrigues me, and blows me away.
Good.
Um, because it's meant to, I'm sure. So yeah, when obviously you're creative, let's talk a little bit about that because it relates to magic. It relates to me sharing stuff and teaching you magic and you running with making props and envelopes and things. Um, Share with everyone, I'm aware of this, some of your hobbies.
Um, let's see, drawing, sewing, embroidery, but machine embroidery, not hands. So let me hang up on these people. Okay. And geez, what else? I mean, I fix stuff around the house, build stuff. I don't know. You know more than me. I don't keep track. That's about it.
Yeah, like I keep track. Let me
I
check my
know.
notes again.
Like, oh, I
In any case, yeah, you build, I think, chicken coops. I remember we were chatting one day and you
yeah,
planned that day to build something
a
for the hobby
barn.
farm.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
It's
Goat
like,
shack and the little barn. Yeah, stuff like that.
yeah, that's a
Not
real
professional, but it
skill.
works.
Well, yeah, that's better than what I did. I think I shared this with you one day. I tried to build a puppet stage, and it consisted of two pieces of masonite board. And I
Hmm.
thought, oh, I'm going to be brilliant. This is going to work. And it was a threefold thing, like the one piece in the front and two on the side,
Yep.
put together with piano hinges, they're called, I believe. So I'm doing this. I'm hand instead of with a drill or
Mhm.
an electric screwdriver thing, proper term. I just put the last screw in and my friend Daryl, who used to do puppets on my original TV show, he comes in, he knocks on my door, he comes in, and I say to him, I'm all excited because we started doing, besides the TV show, a lot of live appearances. And I thought, well, he needs some kind of thing to be behind, which ended up being whatever was around. So I go to lift the thing up, and it's like, it's not lifting up. I had put every single screw from the hinges into my hardwood floor,
Oh, no, that's not good.
which I was renting at the time. I wasn't even owning it,
Oh, that's
right?
even worse.
It was, and we both laughed, ha ha ha. And thankfully he helped me take all the screws out. So to this day, I have a screw loose. No, we took the screws out and I covered it with an area rug when I eventually moved out, hoping that the
No,
owner
you didn't even
wouldn't
fill
know.
it in?
Hmm?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Had you been around in those days, you'd know how to refinish and fix the floor, I'm sure.
Yeah, I
But
just fill the holes in and yeah, I know how to do that.
Yeah,
so,
on walls.
The
yeah,
walls
so
too.
so that was scary. So you have numerous hobbies that
Oh,
also
wait, I
bring
groom
this.
too. Duh. That's what
I
I
was
do
just
for
going to
a
mention that. Yes.
How to say like this.
Yes, hello.
living.
And coincidentally, I think you groom your husband. You cut
Yep.
his hair, probably Mick,
Yep.
as well, whoever's around.
Yep.
The animals, the cats, they see you with your tools and they start running. No.
Yep.
But
Yes, they do.
yeah, that's a real thing. And I think you also illustrate pets. You illustrate some people's pets, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do the pet portraits. Yeah.
Again,
Jeez.
this
There
is
Well, I
was
why
said
this
I
is why I'm
draw.
here.
All right. So yeah, that's my peacock. Oh, you can't see it though. Oh wait,
if
let
you
me stand
just, yeah,
up.
right there. Whoops.
Oh, it's not gonna do it. You know, if I take this off, oh well.
It's
Darn.
amazing.
If
You,
I turn off the thing, then you could see it. Hold
they're
on. I
so realistic. Your illustrations are realistic of these creatures. So,
do that.
yeah.
Hold on. I can almost do two things at once if it lets me. If I go the right way.
Control backgrounds
Where?
none.
Where?
it that one?
That one? No, I don't even know where it is anymore.
Well,
Oh,
this
no.
is this is
Here's
why
one
I
made.
also
Here's
this
one
is
she made.
Oh, he's got one. Because I did one for him. That's
um there we go. Cool.
see, there's
That's
one.
beautiful.
The one that got all the
And he's got
Beautiful.
Tommy has one because I did one for him. That was early.
Ah, oh, of his pooch, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
That
Let
was
me see if I
early.
can find you. Don't go away, Tommy. Hold it up. I want to show that. There we go. That's so
Benji.
cute.
Yeah.
He's a good
Sorry
boy.
for the
And
reflection.
folks, that's his pet dog. That's not Tommy, right? It's not a
Yeah.
portrait of. Ah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, there's another one.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I forget. It's kind of like that's what I do, and I don't think to say
That's why
that's
I
what I
do
do.
behind the
That's
scenes.
another thing we share
I
is
have
my forte is illustration from my
yeah,
commercial art days and portraits. Portraits and illustrations. I used to do
yeah.
caricatures as well, and get paid horrendously well for it. I don't know why
Huh.
people loved them, but they did, and that's amazing. That's at least a couple of things that you do beside the magic. Um,
Anyway, because you said you did not want to be the only one to show up with a graduation picture.
So now she's getting hers.
So now, well,
If she
I'm
can
not
keep-
going to show that side. Let's see if this should show up. Yeah, there.
wow,
See,
that's you.
there's yeah. I have not changed. You know what?
Wow.
Wait a minute. That's me too, Halloween.
No way.
Yep.
Holy cow, Charlie Chaplin.
I
Where
won third.
would,
That was high school, and I won third place. Oh my gosh, this is
yeah,
wonderful. Why does it do that?
lighting.
Yep.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know what you did. You probably switched
I
something
took it
off.
off. Exactly. Let me put it back on because that's the one thing I can do.
You're frightening the children, Cheryl.
I try my best. I
You're
try
frightening
my
the
best.
children.
And
Almost.
that's
There we go.
Get in there.
what does it do? Come on.
Whoa.
Oh,
There we
there.
go. There we
Good
go.
job. Now,
Phew. Little bit of anxiety. No way. Is that you?
that's me.
Wow. High
Oh, I can
school
just hold it
pic
there and the
or
rest of the show. Do. Yeah.
ah,
Wow. That was 10th grade. So no, I have not changed, except my hair is longer now.
very cool. Very cool. Okay, I'm going to share my high school stuff as well with people, even though this
Yeah.
is about you. This was my high school annual, which I was asked to illustrate. And the theme of it was, and I'm still friends with this guy. He's a gifted photographer named Mel Noodleman. He's been on the show before, pre-Cheryl. And he loved, oh, I forget that British show. Um, it's funny, and we sometimes joke about it. But anyway, this was where is it? Our principal.
Oh my
This
gosh.
was our vice principal, and I had them dressed up as the Mod Squad because it was one of my favorite shows and it was really popular at the time. So, yeah, that was one thing. But the
Cool.
cartoons, well, let's see. Yeah, you won't be able to see me. I can barely see me in person. That's me, little freak boy.
Oh.
Ow.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's
Whoa.
my friend Mel. He looks nothing like that right now. Um,
Well, y'all
I don't
grew up.
know. I don't know if we get better as time goes on or if we become more scary. But there is, in particular, I think it's page 84. Yes, I memorized the pages, Cheryl, because I
Wow.
can. Well, just for the show, I memorized it. Oh, Mike's a
Should know it.
real. Oh, oh, that's funny. 80, 81, 82. There we go. So he liked, and I liked Mad Magazine and Don Martin in particular.
Yes.
So we came up with This cartoon takes place in a museum. Zounds, what realism. It almost looks alive. And of course, the last panel, it is alive. And it's got to put through the thing.
Nice.
So yeah, that was before college. That
Oh
was
my God.
somehow this stuff got me into college somehow. So yeah, that's another thing we share, our drawings and illustrations and whatnot. As far as I know, we don't share music yet, but you never
Not
know.
yet.
Well, do you sing?
Oh, not in public.
She plays.
Oh,
I plays clarinet. I plays clarinet. No, and piano. I did.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow. It's not an easy instrument to play, actually. I had a friend who played all woodwind instruments. He was a
yeah.
genius and he loved clarinets. He's
Yeah.
gone now. His name was Eli. But wow, no kidding. Huh.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay. Hmm?
what'd you do for fun when you were little?
Me?
Yeah.
Torture my mother, I have to say, because I used to
Like with
act out
what?
a lot.
Oh,
And
what?
and I was an only child. I like to say my brother was an only child, but no, I was an only child. And I would act out. I'd act out.
Like
This
how?
isn't politically correct anymore, but cowboys and Indians. So
Yeah.
I'd be the cowboy and I'd shoot, and then I'd put on my Native American outfit and pretend I got shot, and I'd act out all this stuff. And one of my, and she let me do this. She probably peered around the corner and was watching me the whole time, maybe. But one time. And it's probably another story you're thinking of, which I can't remember right now. But I used to like a show back in the day called Burke's Law. And it was, I forget his name, Gene Barry. And he had this awesome Rolls Royce. I loved. So then I started getting little dinky cars, I think they were called. I had a Rolls Royce and all that. But he used to judo chop. And that fascinated me, which also brings us up to one of your hobbies, one of the
Yep.
things you do. See how that
Oh, shoot,
works,
yeah, I did that too. It's
right? Judo chop. And
I just have
I
little
one day decided to try it on my mother, me sainted mother.
Mm.
And so she was very used to me, what's it called? Not calling sheep, but pretending I was in trouble to get her into the room
Oh,
and then
crying wolf.
yeah, crying wolf. That's right. Oh, cheap wolf. In any case, I'd somehow get her into the room and try to scare her. And this was no exception. Mom, help. I was hiding behind the door. She rushes in. Michael, what's wrong? Whack. But I was young. I didn't cause much damage. She was able to speak French fluently after that. Her math was really superb after that as well. But needless
Those
to say, I
words.
got it back in the day when that was okay to have happen. And yeah, it that was my thing. But you know judo too, or is it karate? I don't remember.
Both,
Both.
both. I do both.
Yep.
Did both. Haven't done it in a while, but got to get
We
back
got it.
into it ourselves.
Yep.
You know, it
She
would have
was
been.
not appreciative. Neither was her brother of
Oh,
sparring day.
oh
More
wow.
specifically, sparring her. I just want to say that. We could spar everybody else in our class. Her, no.
Because my words to my kids were, "You are not my kids when we hit the mat."
Yeah, and we knew that
Uh-oh.
because we got one really
Uh-huh.
strong kick at the start of sparring, which would send us halfway across the room. And then if we weren't very good with taking it, we landed on the floor. And then,
Yep.
and of course, the teacher's like, "You guys okay?"
So
Yeah.
I nearly unalived her one day with one of the techniques. I had had such a hard time with this technique. And every time I practiced, like I just wasn't getting it right. So this was like test time.
Yeah, it was a
So we're
test.
test time. And I doom, do the technique, and bam, she's on the ground. I was so proud of myself, man. I mean, it was like 2 seconds flat, and all my instructor was like, "Oh my gosh." And I'm like, oh, took the wind right out of my sails. And they're like, "Are you okay, Michaela?" And I'm like,
I was fine.
Like
I
I
don't know
just
why
did this
I
like
panicked.
perfect almost, and they were worried about her because yeah, it can mess somebody up if you do it and do it right.
I
But
was
she was
proud
okay.
though. I was
Yeah,
proud of
she
it
knew
because I
her
was
fault.
expecting it.
But
I
oh my
wish
gosh,
we
like the
had,
time stopped and
I wish we had videos or pics of that,
he had it. He had it. I should ask him if he has it because he's like, I showed my wife and she was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like,
Yeah, because he took a video of our
yeah,
test
that
and
was
that
awesome
moment
though.
because
Best
That
moment.
would be,
you executed it perfectly and you did it as quick as if it were real time and I was attacking you.
Yep.
But the instructor didn't think that I landed correctly and that I was knocked out because
No.
the move's called sleeper. It's supposed to knock the
Yeah.
person unconscious immediately.
Yeah.
And because I know how to handle it and take it, I acted appropriately, but apparently he thought I was knocked out and something had gone wrong. It didn't because I responded as soon as I could. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I just
She
need
got me
sooner.
back. She got me back during our judo test
Yeah, I did
where
pay you back for that.
he said to do a certain technique and well, we're not allowed to talk. Yeah.
Not supposed
Not
to.
supposed to, but we always did. And so she did the technique, but for some reason I was on the same wavelength, so I knew what was to be done. And she did it, and they were horrified. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" And again, different
I
instructor, except it was judo. She did the wrong technique,
yeah,
but we both
did the wrong technique, but I
knew it.
executed
Like,
it
yeah,
perfectly. And they
Tanya
thought,
coach.
yeah, they
Yeah,
thought I had actually done it, like something had gone wrong and that I had hurt her. And it's like,
she wasn't
nope,
expecting
she's
it. I'm like,
fine.
yeah, it was. But yeah, so it's fun doing martial arts with family.
ah, too fun. That is so cool. Um, so yeah, as far as our history is concerned, I think they're all caught up now. I think our viewers, both on Facebook and in studio, are caught up. What does come to mind is a brief Q&A from our audience. So if anybody has a question for Cheryl and I as individuals or as a team, because you see, Cheryl, we're a team, apparently. That's what it says on the cue card. In any case,
I told you to write. Good job remembering.
It's okay. It's on her script too. I wrote that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So anybody have a comment as we begin to wrap up? Comment, question, because they actually know it's going to be in the after chat after. As you know, which is cool because after the show and after people on Facebook and people on YouTube, after they see the show, it's like, well, more goes on. It's a free for all, a veritable free for all. Here we go. This is from Broadway Al, all the way from Chicago. Do socks go with sandals? You want
No,
to take that, Cheryl, or should I?
I say no.
I
I
also say
agree. I agree. I saw far too much of that on the West Coast. I come here and it's like, really? Isn't that a cliche? But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
in
know.
any other comments or questions, that was actually a good idea to use the chat, actually. I never thought of that. It's because they're shy. They don't want to be highlighted or spotlighted. They don't want us to put
They're
them on
smart.
camera right now.
They're
If you
smart.
just speak up. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, John,
Yeah.
I want to bring you up here. There we go. Yeah, you didn't want that. Did you have a comment or question?
Yeah, when you accidentally fastened your puppet stage to the floor, you could have just told everyone you were doing a floor show.
Oh, oh, I
Nice.
wish I'd have thought of that. John often says stuff that I either don't have the guts to or am not witty enough to come up with. Thanks for that, John. John is my conscience sometimes. And anyone else? Oh boy, I have a funny feeling people brought popcorn, and this is anybody at all? If not, we're gonna start to wrap up. Thanks for that, John. So Cheryl, you know you have my never-ending gratitude for being my co-host on the show. And I could just hear Mick going, yeah, but no, no, there's no buts. Um, And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful you're still my student. I have a feeling it's going to veer into mentorship, but who knows? We both kind of decide the future of our little teaching gatherings. Um, is there, you don't want to promote doing illustrations, animal illustrations, or do you pet illustrations, or have a feeling in your part of the world, people might want that, people relatively close to you. But people in the rest of the world is like, yeah, I think I'll send my sheepdog airmail to her and she will trim him. She will do her thing.
Leave it.
So at this point, I guess we're gonna just wrap up and
Wrap it up.
want to thank you so much, Cheryl and Mick, for putting up with me.
And
And
putting up with me. Yep.
nah, nah, it's a
Ah.
pleasure. It's a pleasure and an honor. It truly is. I'm laughing because I know you're gonna come up with a neat idea. Okay, we can share this with them. Sometimes, oftentimes, I'm about 2 weeks ahead with the effects that we're going to do on the Wednesday night show. But sometimes I like to challenge myself and come right up even to a Saturday or Sunday. And it's like, I don't have anything. I got tons of stuff, but I haven't taken the time to think of it because we're doing this show or the Friday night Wizard Emporium, seen the first Friday of every month on Facebook. Check it out. Um, and what I find so amusing is I'll have this great idea, and in our teaching sessions or the next day or whenever it is, you'll come up with an amazing twist. Or you would have if I would have just given you some idea, some semblance. It's like you've come back with some kind of cool prop or some kind of envelope, I want to say. So I'm honestly, I look forward to that.
Cool. It's fun. It's fun. Get an idea and then just kind of run with it. And then go back and
Totally.
see what you think. So that's cool.
And that's the truth of the matter. Anybody watching, and I think everybody in the house watches the what used to be called Tuesday night. I keep thinking Tuesday night, but now it's open mic, the Wednesday night open mic Magic Theater on Facebook. But that's the truth of it, is like I find too having you in my life, having you part of stuff, it gets me to be a little bit more creative rather than grabbing. It's too easy to grab an existing trick or effect that I might have handy because I got tons of them. So it's you encourage me just by you being you to be a little bit more creative and maybe start from scratch, start with an idea or whatever. So again, for that, I'm grateful. And that's about it, I think. I think we're gonna
Sounds good.
wrap it up. Mick, thank you so much for putting up with your mom and me. Anyway, oh, wouldn't it be funny if she was snoring if she was asleep? But you're totally appreciated. And that's about it. So we're both gonna wrap up. Usually at this point I'd get rid of you, so there's just me.
Yeah.
But we're in us. We're partners in this whole deal. Um, we are. And you don't let me forget that either. In any case, I could just picture you now with an axe or something. You're going like that, but you have some kind of a scary tool or something.
There you
She has a
go.
lot.
But,
Yeah.
but that's just the way I think. Help me. Help.
Surprise.
In any case. I want to thank all of you out there as well for joining us this day. We're here every Saturday at 1 p.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. sort of East Coast time, certainly New York area, 9 p.m. UK time. And next week we have the amazing, the magicians out there will have to experience Ariel Freilich. He's a Toronto boy originally from Belgium and he's an inventor of magic effects. I've had him on my original Magical People Live, and I thought it's time to get him back. You'll love him too. You'll enjoy him. Lady C, Cheryl. Well, we should have actually mentioned that whole thing as well, the strange gambits. Sometimes we call ourselves strange gambits for some shows, usually virtual shows.
Yeah. Well,
And
I couldn't
you're
even that I groom, so you know.
Again, do you want to get
So,
Everything.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this day. We'll look forward to seeing you all next time.
See
See you
ya.
soon.